Hi everyone, Mature Simmer here. Great news, we've been able to get a copy that was just posted today of the FSN version of SHELLBROOK. So for those not familiar, FSN operations will modify maps to make them usable and playable and kind of equalize things on the map. So I've looked over various items, and I've definitely made the decision that I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stick with Field 9 as the one that I'm going to go with, and I'm going to explain why by going to the PDA. So here we are on the PDA for, again, FSN's version of SHELLBROOK. So as expected, a lot of things are gone from the city. We just basically have some sell points. So we've got a couple marts, we've got a GHHB grain elevator, and we've got the biomass heating plant. And then down here, which was one of the other farms, we've got the GCHB grain elevator, and again the main starting farm on single player SHELLBROOK is here. As you can see, as expected, no buildings there, but the roadway is still similar, although it looks like actually there may have been a change made there to not require you to go down this way and up. So that might actually make it easier for me for Field 9 to get out. But the big reason is the FSN Customs silo is right there. So if it wasn't for the river, I would be able to just head right over. But either way, I couldn't really ask for a better placement other than, if I decided to go with Field 1 or something. But that's what I'm going to go with for that reason. And over here we just have the animal dealer. So you can see our vehicles still leave the vehicle shop there. We've got gas available there. We can probably put gas on our farm. So my intent is to buy 9, clear out space here for my farmyard, basically. So that will be my initial focus when we can finally get on the map. Now again, I'm running this in single player. I'm not loading this in multiplayer because our server is not ready yet. That's still down the road. So if I switch here to the purchasing mode, the other thing you'll notice is, obviously it's still 163 acres, but you'll notice it's $2.3 million. So the other thing that changes with FSN is the cost per acre is adjusted based on all kinds of factors. And so having some discussions today, because we can have productions on the map where FS19 servers cannot, there is a bit of a premium for the cost per acre, but I've been told it's not as high as what it would be or was on some of the original maps that came across. And then as well, the divisions are not necessarily the same. So you can see there are some just wooded areas here that are purchasable if people want to do that at some point. I learned that. But the challenge that unfortunately my other FMs are going to run into is the fact that the rules as they sit in FSN, or that myself as mayor, I'm not limited in what I can spend. So I can buy this plot, but some of the other FMs, for example, wanted to buy 5, which is now almost 1.7 million, and then 35, which is 2 million. For FMs, though, the rule is they can't exceed 500,000 for their plot. And what we've discovered then on this map is that's very limiting. Even this field here, you can see is 679. Even 7 is 576. 6 is 776. 3 is 608. So you're probably asking, are there any that are under 500,000? And there are some. So 231, and then basically this cluster here. So they can do 29, 28, 24, and again, we think they can do 28. There is a little bit of leniency. That might exceed it, but certainly 29's in the mix. 24 is, 23, 22, 19, 20, and 18. And then again, 12 is kind of on that border. It's obviously closer than 28 is, that it's only 12,000. So we're hoping that 12 is going to be available for someone. There's an FM who's gone ahead and said that they may look at that one if they can do that. I think I got a note from someone else that they're going to grab 31, which is obviously right at the border there as far as cost. And then what they would need to do is then, as land comes up for auction, they can look at it. But you can see these fields are 4.2 million. You know, they're very close in size, so they're only about 10 acres or maybe even 5 acres different. So they're right there for the cost, but if somebody wants those, you know, they'll need quite a bit of money. You know, and obviously even mine is up there, but I have the cash, so I'm going to go ahead and go with that. So that is the plan. I just wanted to at least, again, keep people posted on what's happening. And so that was the big news. We'll jump down here to the custom silo so you can see kind of the layout. If you recall from from Hilly Seneca, I don't want to call it Misty Hills because we're still Misty Hills Agriculture. We're just going to be in a new location. If you recall from Hilly Seneca, we had a couple boards at the end here. Those video boards are not available in FS22 yet. So those may or may not make a return, and then they may or may not make a return to FSN. And then the other thing that stuck out to all of us as we looked at this was filled with silos basically under this roof in FS19, and it does not appear to be for FS22. It's just the frame building, but the process is basically still the same. I pull up on this side, it's labeled Customs, and this is where I load things into Customs, and then that is where, you know, we'll output them. So the challenge that we're going to have to figure out is how do we know what's in Customs? Because we're going to be on our farm. I assume the restrictions or the function will be the same, that we can't leave our farm and join FSN. So I think we're going to have to be extremely careful in tracking what we move to Customs and basically, you know, keeping track of it before we move it from our silo. So these are the same supply silos that we had, so you can see on this side of the yard they're there. And then I did like this added feature because we didn't have anything like this on FS19, is this great sign that lets you know, hey, you're coming to Customs, and this is how you get here. And I'm thinking there's one up there too. I'm not sure. I didn't actually check this end, but I'm sure it's similar. Yep. Obviously the arrow's going to point the other way from this direction, but yeah, so we've got these great signs that get you in here and make it more obvious what's going on. So this is what we've got, and that's the plan. It's just now a matter of time to see, you know, what happens and when we can get on the map. So I'm not sure that I'm honestly going to have a lot more to talk about, although, you know, maybe as we go through the field selection process, I'll pop up another short video focused on what's happening in Misty Hills, just so that you're aware. But right now, you know, that's been the big step, is getting the visibility of the map. And then, you know, unfortunately for the FMs, having to readjust some of their expectations, because obviously we were all looking at the prices of the fields on the single player version of the map, and they're significantly different in this version. So I will see you next time.